potential revenge game spot here as Auburn travels to Oklahoma this weekend. Jackson Arnold, first time back in Oklahoma since leaving in the transfer portal this offseason after a rough season at Oklahoma last season, to say the least. But he has Auburn at 3-0. Oklahoma's also undefeated. John Mateers played very well there at quarterback for them. They knocked off Michigan at home. OU's favored by 7.5. Thoughts on this game, guys?
It's a huge game. I'll really be interested to see. I'm excited to see John Mateer return and play this Oklahoma defense. As someone who
Jackson Arnold.
Thank you, Jackson Arnold. The J names got me mixed up. Jackson Arnold return, play this Oklahoma defense. As someone who's low on Jackson Arnold all offseason and still is, just because don't think I've seen him throw the ball enough. Currently, he's 48 for 69, 501 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, and that's through 3 games. He's also added some yardage and touchdowns on the ground. I thought those were up there. I guess not anymore.
192, 4 touchdowns on 35 carries.
Okay. So he comes in, and he now faces an Oklahoma defense that allows 8 points per game, which is 3rd in the country, and 196 yards per game, which is 4th in the country. They also allow only 4.3 yards, so opponent yards per pass, which is 3rd in the country. I'm really interested to see, can Auburn run against this defense, because we haven't seen Jackson Arnold really sling the ball, and so I have very little trust in him to do that. And now they play an Oklahoma defense that I have a lot of trust in, shutting just almost everything down. The wide receivers at Auburn really need to cook. Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton are 2 very talented guys. Coleman, a former 5-star last year in the class with Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams, who sometimes gets overlooked because of those guys. And then Eric Singleton comes in from Georgia Tech. They have to cook. They have to get open. But I think this is a really interesting game. It's kind of Jackson Arnold's first big test. What do y'all think?
I agree with that. I'm going to try and paint a picture of how I think this game could go real quick. Both teams like their defenses a lot. Auburn has been fantastic against the run to start the season. And OU's offensive line has not been good blocking, especially on inside runs. I mean, think about the Michigan game. Is really Mateer that killed Michigan when he got outside and stuff like that. The run blocking's just simply not been good. So I expect Auburn to be able to hold up, take away Oklahoma's inside run, put a lot on Mateer's plate. And so then it comes down to, do you expect Mateer to do what he's been doing and just keep cooking? On the flip side, Jackson Arnold has been great, but his Achilles heel has always been handling blitzes. When he gets under pressure from the blitz, he's been downright terrible in his career at it. Now, you could say maybe he's turned over a new leaf since at Auburn, but Oklahoma loves to blitz. They blitz Bryce Underwood 65% of the time, so they're going to bring it, right? And Brent Venables knows Jackson Arnold. So the question then becomes, how does Jackson Arnold handle that? Can Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton get open, win against man when OU does blitz? Do you trust Jackson Arnold to stand and deliver in that way? Thoughts on that? Do you think that's accurate about how it could play out?
I mean, it profiles almost identical to the Michigan game, just with the fact that Bryce Underwood is a way more talented thrower than Jackson Arnold. But Bryce Underwood doesn't have Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton. I think it's going to play out almost identical to that game as well. I think Michigan or Oklahoma, I should say, has the mojo. They've got the defensive capability to shut down, I think, Arnold in that running game. Now, I will say quarterback power is pretty darn hard to stop.
True.
Sure.
And even when you know it's coming, doesn't mean you're going to be able to shut it down. Think of the Georgia Tech game this past weekend against Clemson. So there's possibilities there. But I also think offensively is probably where they're strongest still, too, with John Mateer. The way they drove down the field to start the game against Michigan was awe-inspiring, and then the way they close out the half and the way they start the second half, I think offensively they're even if it was an Oklahoma defense of the Lincoln Riley days, I still think their offense is better than Auburn's offense. It would outscore them in a game. So I don't think Auburn's got enough. They're going to need bounces to go their way, turnovers. Like Mateer's going to have to turn the ball over.
Which he has turned a pick in every game so far.
Yeah.
Fumbles are going to have to occur. They're going to have to score off those turnovers if they get them. Maybe a special teams bounce happens here or there. a big run, like a Jackson Arnold, like 70-yarder? Are you going to need a Cam Coleman or Eric Singleton, like over the top, like 60-yard catch? Those are the kind of plays that need to happen. And then also, like, when Oklahoma does hit big plays, which they're going to, can you hold them to 3 in the red zone? I think those are the keys to it. This is a game I think Auburn has to go out there and win. I don't think Oklahoma's just going to lose this game and just hand it away. That's just not how I feel right now. I agree with Josh Payton in terms of this is one of his best bets for the week. I think Oklahoma wins and covers.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. Another thing to think about, Auburn's really struggled to tackle, and this is not the team you want to struggle to tackle against. Talking about trying to stop their explosive plays that Oklahoma's for sure going to have. When Mateer does get out of the pocket and you have a chance to bring him down, you got to capitalize, and they've not done that so far this season, especially on the outside and their corners and safeties trying to make tackles. It's just not been there. So that's another worry. Are we ready to pick this game? Any other thoughts?
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah.
Or Sanders, you got something, but let me go first.
Go for it.
Jay Knott didn't play against Michigan, and then he had almost an identical appearance in Week 3 against Temple as he did in Week 1, where he got 1 carry in the fourth quarter and a blowout victory, and that was it. Literally, like, almost the exact same thing. He was the top transfer running back in the portal, and Venables has kept saying that they want him to be a big part of the offense, but he hasn't been. Venables said after the game on Saturday that, like, he said you'd wish he was a little further along in every way, but you get in there, whatever opportunities you have, you get in there, you're ready, you've got good juice, energy, aggressiveness. All those things, everything adds up, everything matters. So it's like it doesn't really answer like the status of him. It feels. Is he still, like, hurt? I don't know what's going on there. He is, like, if he were able to get going, like, I think it just makes this Oklahoma offense even better. There's a reason he was the top transfer running back, but I wouldn't be pretty confident that he would play much at all this Saturday.
I will say the backup, Troy Blaylock,
He's
has been
playing
playing
fine,
very
yes.
well. 80 PFF grade, 31 carries, 166 yards, 5.4 yards per attempt. So he's been playing well. In the stead of
Sure.
Jay Knott and Jay Knott's stead. I'll say my thing and then segue from that into my pick because it's what it is. I think this game kind of comes down to I think Auburn's going to need 24, 28 points in order to win this game because Oklahoma at home is going to be able to score 3 touchdowns, a field goal, 4 touchdowns. I don't trust Auburn's offense to get that done on the road, so I'm going to pick Oklahoma to win. I'm going to pick Oklahoma to cover. I love the Michigan comparison because I could see this game going like the exact same way. I think Oklahoma wins this game 24, 28, somewhere in there to like 13 or 14.
I'm going to pick Auburn to cover. The line's 7.5. If it was like 6.5, I'd probably take Oklahoma to cover. But I'm going to take Auburn to cover. Their defensive front is so good. Keldrick Falk is going to be a first-round draft pick. I think they'll be able to really limit Oklahoma's run, and I'll take some of the consistency out of Oklahoma's offense and kind of limit their scoring cap, if that makes sense. Like, I don't see just the offensive explosion from Oklahoma. And so I think Oklahoma is going to control the game, right? I'm pretty confident they're going to win, but I'm going to take Auburn to cover.
Yeah, I've already made my pick, but again, I'll reiterate. I think it'll just be a dominant performance for Oklahoma. I think they win and cover 7.5 pretty easily. I think it feels like it's too soon to forget what Auburn did at Baylor in Week 1, how they dominated, especially offensively. But the amount of yardage that Sawyer Robertson racked up kind of scares me for what John Mateer could potentially do. And I just think the Oklahoma defense is so much better than the Baylor defense, clearly, as Baylor's defense has shown over the first 3 weeks of the season, giving up 45 to SMU and 38 to Auburn. So I think that is a fair point, but I just don't think it applies here. So give me the Sooners to win and cover.